Greetings and welcome to the One Six Scale Man proudly presents Rise and Shy. I am one of the many hosts that we actually have on today's show, on every show that we basically have. But thank you for basically being here. It's going to be a great one, great episode. A lot of things to really chat about and talk about. I can't help. Uh, Here's the thing: you probably know what the topic will be. It's a topic that's been surfacing pretty much everywhere. But we're going to have a conversation about it. And what I like about this show is that we have three level-headed individuals that don't fly off the handle. They don't basically, oh, this is trash. No. We think, we analyze, we discuss, and we look towards the future. And I think that's what everybody should do. And I think that's where we're headed. So again, we're going to talk about some things, of course, DC related. That will be the topic of today's show. But I definitely can't do it without my partners. As always, got to basically make sure that I bring them in here. How are you doing today? How's everything going?
Good, man.
Very
How are you?
good.
Marvelous. So glad to have you here today.
It's great to be back.
Great to be back. So good to have you. And also
Thanks.
Rich, so good to have you here today. As always, how you
Thank
feeling?
you, man. Well, a bit better, thank you. I've still got a bit of a cough. So if I keep muting myself, you'll know why, because I don't want to cough down the mic.
Definitely.
And here's me thinking that you guys took all the DC news last week, and I wasn't there to tell you all about it and my thoughts on that. And guess what happened?
Oh no.
All
Oh
this
no.
happened. So
Oh,
yeah,
no.
there was so much to talk about.
Oh no. What we talked about was a warm-up. That
Yeah,
was it.
Yes.
That was strictly a
Yes.
warm-up. We were getting prepared for you today.
Yes,
So
I
definitely we're going to
appreciate
dive in a few things, as you know. We're definitely going to have that conversation. Love the shirt that you have on, Les. Shout out to Celine Dion. And,
Yes, Celine Dion. Yeah,
definitely
Bless
love
her.
that. And also, really quick, before we begin, like I
have-
said, I did this last night.
I have that
Ooh, there we go. There we go.
So,
Justice League. You already
Oh,
know.
I
man.
love it.
Yeah.
And there we go. There we go.
There we go. Good.
There we go. Gal Gadot all day.
Gorgeous.
There we go. Queen Studios. This piece is amazing. I will have like a unboxing video and review coming up later on today. So I just wanted to put it out here because this piece is phenomenal. I just could not have it any other way. But real quick though, shout out to the family of Twitch, who was the co-host of the Ellen TV show, also dancer extraordinaire, performer, DJ. Amazing guy, amazing cat. Rest in peace. Condolences to him and his family. Remember, whenever there's somebody out there that needs to have a conversation and wants to talk, and if you feel as though yourself that you need to talk and you're not being heard, before you make any hasty decisions, know that you can reach out to anybody. You can reach out to one of us. My inbox is always open. I get it all the time. I talk to people day in and day out about issues, and I don't have a problem with it because sometimes it's therapeutic for me as well. So definitely make sure you're talking to somebody. Mental illness is a real thing. It is real. Y'all don't think it is, but it's real, and it's more serious now than it's ever been. Really.
Yeah.
It is. So definitely, Marvelous. I know we're going to have a show coming up pretty soon after the new year that we're going to dive deep into this. So, and it's something that's important, near and dear. I can't wait till you do it. I'm all in for it. Let's go. But before we actually continue on with the show, I do want to actually say again, this is the last week for the Christmas initiative. Again, this is all proceeds. Everything that we actually get and receive goes towards making sure kids receive toys, gifts for the holiday, and they can actually celebrate, and it can be festive for them and families. It's like I said, I always pay it forward. We're fortunate to have certain things that other people aren't. So you always want to make sure you pay it forward and that they can receive gifts as well. So with that said, let me actually address the chat real quick. Let's see who we have in here today with us. We have Blackbird Tech is in here. Thank you for being here. We'll see. We got Figure Asset Park. We got About Future in the building. Thank you for being here. Ash Chase, DT Artman, Kinky Sphincter is in the building. We have The Empire Strikes Again. We have Benjamin E. Green, Philip the Fool. We got Man What in the building. We got Aunt P. Let's see who else we got. Primetime Reviews. Jake is in the building.
Wow.
Les is out there. We got AJ Agrusa and Dion Dinosaur is in the building. Thank you for being here. So
What a crowd. Thank you, guys.
Good
Thank
crowd,
you.
good group of people. Other people storming
Amazing.
in as well. Blackbird Tech, thank you for being here as always. We got Vin Doom. What up, peeps? How you doing, man? Thank you for being here. So before we begin and before we dive into the main topic, I want to talk about something very quick, before we kind of jump into this, because here's the thing. And I received this figure today. What I did was I took it out the box first to kind of look at it. I wanted to kind of see, myself, what the hype was about. If there was, any problems that were going to exist with this piece. And I'm happy to say that I was pleasantly impressed and happy to receive it into my collection. I always say, when it comes to pieces, get the figure in hand for yourself first, whether it be a figure, whether it be a statue. The only way for you to determine whether or not you don't like something is to get it in hand, view it for yourself, your own vantage point, take a look at it, and then you be basically the judge. And I am talking about, now this is basically just because they didn't, now mind you, there were no prototype or no production photos that went out for this, because it was a exclusive release. This was a reissue. So I'm talking about none other than the Batman Begins figure. Now, I want to say this. I got the figure today. I received it. Now, mind you, I could have fell victim just like everybody else did, almost did, with this Batman Begins figure. There were some photos that were basically passed around where people were judging it. They were talking about, oh, it's too shiny. It's not the matte black. It looks terrible. The proportions are gone, and the cape, the cowl. Here's the thing. It's almost the same figure that we actually received. There are slight improvements, but almost the same figure that we actually got earlier on when it was released. Yes, the cowl needs to be touched up. Definitely there are, they should have really redid the cowl. They didn't do it. They gave us this particular version. The cape also, even the straps on the cape should have been a lot closer. They weren't. Okay, I get that. Overall, though, looking at the figure, it looks good. It looks good in hand. And it's, the thing is, anybody can basically take, a regular photo from your iPhone close up without really getting the angles that you need to really determine. I got the figure in hand. I love it. You know what I mean? For what it does for me. And here's the thing. It's not as shiny as people perceive it to be. It is matte black, but it isn't that darker tone matte black that we would have expected from the figure. But it's not a bad looking figure at all. And I'm telling you, once you get it in hand, and the thing is, you take a box completely, you take the figure out of the box. If you take that figure outside the box and stand it up the way it is, of course it's going to look unsightly. You haven't posed the figure. You haven't in this stoic museum box pose. You haven't done anything with the figure. You haven't maneuvered the cape. It does take some fun. Any figure that we actually get, you have to pose it. You have to give it the dynamics it actually needs. You can't just take it out of the box and put it down and say, yes, that's the figure. That's what it is. Oh, it looks terrible. No, you have to pose it. You have to give it some dimension. You have to give it presence.
You have to give it some life. You have to give it some life. Yeah. I agree with that. I think, right. Bearing in mind, I didn't mean to interrupt you in any way, shape, or form, but I'm just going to quickly say this. And I hope I'm not out of order by saying this, because I don't have it in hand. I've not seen anyone read it. Obviously, I know Justin does it very well at the minute. So it's not an improvement. This figure came out in like 10 years ago. And it's not a big advancement from what it was before. It's pretty much the same thing. And I think that one of the issues is within the community, I agree with you that people are going ham at the minute for the moment anything drops. It's ridiculous. It's the side of the fandom that I cannot stand. And I'm getting very numb to it. Where I'm going like, I'm distancing myself from getting involved, from saying things and stuff like that. But what I would say is, as Hot Toys, for that kind of premium amount of money that they are charging, and they continue to do so, they need to continue to up their game. They had the situation with Doc Brown, with everything that happened there. People went, again, ridiculously over the top. But I can see their point, because it was not a big advancement. There are different companies now that are going to be charging slightly more, but offering more premium level of quality and advancement and stuff like that. I'm really happy that you've got it. I was going to buy two. I think I said this a couple of weeks ago when you and I were on the call together. And I was going to get 2. I'm not going to get any now. But what I am going to get randomly out of the blue is the Batman Forever one, because of how good that looks. And in no way am I saying anything badly against your purchase. I'm really happy for you, man, because obviously you got your Tumblr and everything. But for me, I'm just a bit like, oh, it's a shame. And they have such a roller coaster at the minute where we're getting some stuff which is absolutely top drawer, and it's like, fuck, that's fucking brilliant. And then other times it's like, did they just find these pieces and put them together and sold it? Yeah. And it's like that sometimes is an issue with it. And I think we need to view Hot Toys now in their individual divisions rather than Hot Toys as a whole. And what I mean by that is like, say, the Star Wars division, they kill it. They do so well. They've got so much money. They put so much investment in it. DC, very up and down. And the one-offs can be very, very good, but then other times are really crap. So it's interesting to see how they develop long-term. But I'm happy for you, man. I'm really glad that you've got it.
Here's the thing. The reason why I'm saying this is because in Hot Toys' defense, they didn't say this was, they said it was a reissue. They did basically say this is a reissue of the actual figure. Now, could they have taken the time to improve it? Yes. And there are some aspects of the figure, and I'm talking about aesthetically, from posing, just like the articulation is definitely a bit better. And again, I can't judge these. I can't judge, and I refuse to judge or to have my views on the figure when I'm looking at someone who's just completely taking the figure outside the box. Really, like just taking it outside the box. Haven't done anything. The cape is not even posed up. You don't have the cape because you have to. It's just like basically if you get a package, you receive a package or a jacket that you actually received if you've purchased. You take it out the box. You just gonna throw it on without shaking it out, making sure that the wrinkles aren't there. And a lot of people haven't really done that with this figure. They just pulled it out the box and they just have it there. And then they're taking unsightly angles of a figure without really just sitting down, adjusting the figure, putting it in the proper lighting, posing it up, getting different angles so we can see. Because all we've seen so far is this straight on, just that look straight on. But they haven't really done anything else about it. And that's my point, that if you're going to take the photos right. Give people a clear view and understanding of why, or even say, look, this right here, I don't like. This right here, I don't like. No, don't just take a picture and just say, okay, this is what it is. This is what you can expect. It's bad. Because had I gone with that and not got this in hand and taken it out, I could have just said, you know what, once I receive it, I'm just going to send it back and say, hey, look, I want a refund. No, I got it. I opened up the package. I looked at it. I was like, okay, especially for what I'm going for and what I want. Yeah. I'm not mad at it. I had planned on, again, because I was already, we've gone through this with Hot Toys before. I was already ready for this cape not to do exactly what I needed to do. So I've already reached out to Unreal Customs to get a brand new cape. I was going to do that anyway. I've done that with every figure that I have, that especially a Batman figure. I've done that. I did that for the DX19. I did that for the Justice League Batman. I've done that. Like this is basically what and plus I like the Unreal Customs capes. Yeah. So this is what I was going to do for this one. Also, there are cows out there that you can actually purchase. Even Justin was like, look, I'll hook you up with this guy who's making capes for, not capes, but cows for a really affordable price. And he's going to have the swappable face plates and everything. So again,
my point though, it's kind of
and I know you shouldn't have to, and I understand that you shouldn't have to do that. Yeah. But the thing is, how many people still do it? Regardless, when we say we shouldn't have to, we do it for a lot of figures. Like we do that, we actually do it. But here's my point.
Yeah, that will.
Here's my point.
Less though, I think
it is. And here's my point though. Yes, there are we did this the last week. Inconsistencies with these figures. There are a lot of inconsistencies. Whereas this looks great. We get another figure. It doesn't look that great. Even with the Loki figure, somebody took a straight, we talk about, well, with the helmet on, it looks great. With it off, not so much. Where it should it should look right both ways.
Yeah.
And it doesn't. How do you feel about like the inconsistencies right now when it comes to figures? Do you think it's becoming a thing, especially with Hot Toys right now?
Look, it is It is a really controversial thing at the moment, and I find that with a lot of Hot Toys drops recently, there's been a lot of negativity. Rich is like spot on. Like even when I saw the Batman Forever figures, like Robin and the Batsy, you know, I thought they looked beautiful, but I couldn't help myself when it came to the ripples in the suit when trying to articulate them. But that's just a personal peeve of mine. You know, it shouldn't affect anyone else's, I suppose, appreciation for them, you know. And if people can see past that and are just happy with, you know, the museum pose, that go for it, because they are genuinely gorgeous. They really, really are. But I might be adding a little bit of spice to the debate when I say that no one has ever looked to customize a Yondu head sculpt because it wasn't good enough, because they never had to. It was perfect to begin with. So no one really reached out to customizers and said, hey, can you give me a Yondu head sculpt that's better than the Hot Toys version? Because Hot Toys nailed it either way. And I think that, you know, when it comes to the quality, I think there are a lot of people on the spectrum that are, you know, saying the quality is kind of slipping. They're looking to cut costs somewhere. Maybe COVID bit them in the butt and they're trying to make up for it somehow. But I think there are certain areas where I feel they might be slipping up. I also think that collectors are the hardest people on the earth to please.
Exactly.
I really do.
Every fan is. Yeah, it's silly.
Every fan is. Yeah. And Hot Toys is going to struggle if they try to please everybody. They can't, you know. Yeah. So they will please a certain majority with this Batman Begins figure, and they won't please a certain majority with this Batman Begins figure. Yeah. And I feel that when people have these figures in hand, they take these in-hand photos which completely wash the figure out. You know, someone posted a photo of a Peaky Blinders figure the other day. Yeah. And their in-hand photo, there was zero contouring on the face because the flash was so bright. Yeah. And the lighting was just off. You know, like they couldn't do anything to justify the actual sculpt work that was visibly there. Yeah. So I think that in-hand photos need to be taken with a grain of salt when it comes to reviewing these figures. And I think that's why people rely on Justin's reviews so much, is because the lighting is good. And Sideshow Collectibles, bless them, they're trying to copy his style, and it's
really
still washed out. They are. They're trying to copy his style.
Yeah.
And the figures are just washed out because the lighting is from the front, you know, and, you know, I think a lot of it needs to be taken with a grain of salt. But I also think that Hot Toys being in the game for as long as they have, they need to start finding ways to improve.
Yeah.
I think that's the ultimate end game there.
Yeah, and and that's what I'm saying. Definitely, they have to. And this is why I don't really get too excited over, you know, even new reveals. We see head sculpts and they're perfectly new announcements. They look perfect. They look great. But it's like, okay, I'll believe it when I see it type of situation when it comes to that head sculpt, because once it hits production, things noticeably change. You know what I mean? Even to be quite honest, even with this particular statue, the head sculpt, it visibly slightly changes from what's on the box, even though it's still a beautiful piece. Yeah, slightly.
Wow, really?
It does, because you can tell it's production. You know what I mean? But it's still a beautiful piece to actually have in hand. But again, the reason, and like I said, I didn't want to stick on this because I know we got a lot to talk about here real quick. But the reason why I wanted to kind of like bring this up is because, again, judge for yourself. Even if you still don't like it when you get it in hand, at least you know you're judging for yourself. Because the thing is, you might pass up on things. Again, we look at Cable. We look at that Cable figure when it dropped. If I'd have believed, you know, someone who took these photos, I'd have been like, yeah, nah, but I got it in hand and I loved it. That's what I'm saying. Judge for yourself.
I agree with judge for yourself. I think people should just not be sheep and follow what other people say. I think they should make a decision if that's right for them and their budget, etc. What I would say is, though, with anything, yes, that in-hand argument is good, but there's a point where, what if it isn't right? That's $300, £300, whatever it is, that you're not going to get back, because the moment you try to sell that, good luck.
But it depends. It depends. Because the thing is, this is why it depends on who you get the figure from, what company you get it from. Right. Because Sideshow has a policy. You get that figure in hand. If you don't like it, if it's not something that works for you, you send it back. They'll give you a refund.
That's great.
So basically, I got this figure through Sideshow with knowing that if I didn't like it, I can send it back. This is why it's important. Do your research on resellers in their company policies, because if they have a great policy, you can send that figure back and get your money back, exactly what you paid for it. You know what I mean?
That's awesome.
So that's what I'm saying. So had I gotten this figure from Devil's Workshop, then I'd have been like, yeah, no, I'm ass out. But that's why I actually got this figure, and I didn't pay retail for the figure. I didn't. Okay. I got this figure for $135 shipped. So again, it was a win-win.
Some of your points, they're amazing.
Yeah, work. There's a win-win for me either way. And on top of that, I knew what I was going for with this figure. This pose that you see right here is the exact pose that I'm going for outside that tumbler. So I don't need too much from it. You know what I mean? And on top of that, I have the best of both worlds because I have this plus the DX19.
Yeah.
There you go. You know what I mean?
Definitely. Yeah.
So I'm just telling people, look, and on top of that, like I said, even if you haven't paid the NRD and you were waiting to get it in hand, you were waiting to pay for it out front as soon as it's released. Again, if you decide, here's the thing, even if you don't want to purchase it, you know, if you're like, yeah, nah, I'll just wait. At least wait till you see someone who's going to take the time to do the proper review.
Yeah. Wait for a proper review.
Wait for the proper review.
For all you people out there who don't know already, there's a guy called D Knight. That man knows his Batman Begins, and that's his favorite suit of all time. And he's custom made his own like quarter scale one and all this kind of stuff like that. And he's an English guy. He's a really good guy. And so he's getting it in as well, and he's going to basically compare it and see where it is. So that's worth maybe having a look at. I think Justin might be a bit of a delay, so that's really good. So So sorry to derail that, man, but I just wanted to kind of get that point.
Rich,
no. That's the thing.
Derails.
Yeah, derails are good, man. Derails are good. So definitely. So thank you for that, everybody out there. The point was just make up your own mind, and you'll just again, just take your time. Everything will work out as it's supposed to. So there we go. Anyway, let's actually go in really quick. Let me see here. All right, so we're going to bring this up. I'm going to bring this up really quick because this is where I kind of want to dive into. And again, there's going to be a lot going on. It's going to be spicy, so I just want to say up front, be prepared. Now, we already know, we got the news about this yesterday. Henry Cavill, one of the greatest Superman or actors to don the cape and play this character. Like my two favorites are him and Christopher Reeves. I have a soft spot for Christopher Reeves because that's who I grew up on. But Henry Cavill is one of the greatest to ever don this cape, and he did a phenomenal job. Got news last night or yesterday, which everybody did. Your phones were probably going off. Twitter was probably blowing up. Instagram was blowing up. People that were probably sending out like little, tweets and posts and F you, James Gunn, or you'll probably see petitions going around right now saying, recap or fire James Gunn. James Gunn needs to leave DC, this, that, and the third. You're probably seeing that. I want to preface this by saying this, and then I'm gonna give you guys the floor real quick because I didn't put anything out. If you notice, I didn't put anything up on Facebook, nothing on Twitter. I didn't talk about it on Instagram. I didn't talk about it at all. I wanted to wait because I wanted to just basically sit back, watch how everything was played out, watch what people were going to actually say, and just, whatever. So I want to say this really quick. Films, and when we get these particular films, they're riding on a certain level of success. Mainly, and most importantly for them, is residual gain. It's unfortunate, but a story and everything takes a back seat towards residual gain when it comes to how much that film makes. If people were basically into it, and they voted with their dollars by going to see this film, if it made a certain, and unfortunately right now we live in a world where $1 billion is a new thing. The $1 billion club is the new thing. A film has to be, people think that a film has to make $1 billion to be successful. That's not the case. You can be a film that makes $500 million and it can still be successful. You know what I mean? It can be. But the unfortunate thing is that as much as we like Man of Steel, it wasn't as profitable as the studio wanted it to be. As much as we liked Batman versus Superman, or some people might, and how divisive it wasn't as profitable, which I thought that film with two marquee characters, staples in a DC universe, that should have been a $2 billion film. It wasn't. Again, it wasn't as profitable. Then we actually move into the realm of the Justice League. We already know what that was. The first Joss Whedon's version was a dumpster fire. We got Zack Snyder's version, but that was released straight day and day on HBO Max. Wasn't as profitable. So when you're a studio and you're thinking about this, right, and you have a marquee character such as Henry Cavill, but you know that it comes with baggage. Look, I love Henry Cavill. I love his take on Superman. I have every figure sitting over there in my display. Hey, I loves me some Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman. I think she was one of the best. Linda Carter's going to always be the best, but she comes second. She killed it. I love them, and I'm riding for these characters, but I also got to think about the business as well and the future of a franchise. So even though I hate the decision that was basically made, and I feel bad for the simple fact that Henry Cavill, and there's two ways that I'm going about this. Number one, I just felt as though the announcement and how it was announced, they should have waited, and this should have been some type of press for it, because I hate when things are leaked and it's Chinese whispers around, and then Gunn has to get on Twitter, Instagram, and to defend this decision, and has to kind of make sure that the wrong information isn't out there, debunk a lot of things. That's when it becomes a dumpster fire. DC, number one, should not have. Look, I don't care what people say. They're like, well, James Gunn didn't make his announcement. They didn't make the announcement that James Gunn and Safran were heading up that DC division until after Henry Cavill made that announcement. Bullshit. They knew. They knew ahead of time that James Gunn was going to be the one to helm, that Safran was going to be the one to helm. They knew this well even before the release months before the release of that Black Adam film, and before we saw that cameo in that film. They knew that. They knew that. They should have been smart enough to say, Henry, we're not going to allow you to make this announcement yet. We're not. Don't make the announcement. Let people speculate. They saw you in there, because easily we're giving them what you want, what they want. You don the suit, even though it was only for a fraction of a minute, like whatever, but you don the suit, you were Superman. They should have controlled that. They should not have allowed this man to come out and anyway, in my opinion, humiliate himself. And that was messed up, because again, he's been fighting for this role for the longest time, and people wanted him to see that. But even saying that, I understand that the franchise right now is tainted, and the only way for you to fix it is to do a fresh reboot and a fresh take. In my opinion, there's a way that you can do it and still maintain actors, but I know how that can be tainted as well. It's a tough situation right now.
Very tough.
I wish Henry Cavill some luck. Hey, Marvel, you got the perfect Sentry. I'm just saying. But anyway, I'm just saying, you got the perfect Captain Britain. You got the perfect King Hyperion. I'm just saying. But again, it's a tough situation, but I understand both sides. Les, I'm gonna go to you first before we hit you, Rich. What do you think about this announcement?
Look, of course, I was devastated. Devastated. I'm so hungover.
Devastated.
I was devastated.
Right, there you go. That's better.
I was very sad about the news. Obviously, we've all warmed to Henry Cavill as Superman so much. He was wonderful as the character, and I do agree that James Gunn and Warner Brothers should have made the announcement first. I really do believe that. I do think it should have come from them, because having it come from Henry Cavill first, I think that's a bit. It's a bit unheard of coming from the actor first. That was strange. I have no idea why his PR team gave him the green light. Unless James Gunn gave him the green light, I have no idea.
Yeah.
But it's also looking at things long term, and if you have to save a franchise, save a universe, you kind of have to make hard decisions. And look, even though he won't be coming back as Superman, James Gunn did possibly tease the fact that he would be kept as a different character within the universe. You know, so there's a possibility of that. But, and, you know, some people are upset that Henry Cavill left The Witcher possibly to be Superman. I don't necessarily think that's the case, because there is a possibility that he could have done both. Actors do it. They do cross productions all the time. So I think there were other reasons there for sure. So I think people who are still upset about The Witcher, you need to get used to Liam Hemsworth and just move along, mend the broken heart, just keep moving along with the change. But I think, you know, as far as Black Adam goes, there are some people who speculate that they released Black Adam as a test to possibly save the universe that was, which is a bit of a stretch because the film was based on someone else completely and not on any Justice League characters. Henry Cavill just did a cameo. But I think, you know, if it's to work on a franchise and save the DC franchise as a whole, and you need to reboot and you need to start fresh, you got to do it. I mean, how many times did they do it with Spider-Man? You know, and people got over it. And they will get over this. So it's just a matter of giving everyone time to let it digest. Let James Gunn address what he needs to address, and you know, just letting the chips fall where they may. It is shit, but I'm keeping an open mind for sure. You have to with these things. Yeah,
it definitely is. And again, we don't know because it hasn't really been given a chance.
No.
Myself, in my opinion, I don't want James Gunn to be as vocal as he is on social media all the time, because literally some things you just leave it the way it is, make your announcement, move on, and give us product.
Yeah, they don't need to be said. Just do the work.
Just do the work.
We see the final product.
Yeah, and just move forward with it. And that's what I think. Like, just, you know, if anything, I feel bad for Henry, man, because again, all of us, a lot of people wanted him to be Superman. And this is, even if they basically, and here's the biggest problem that I have with this, is the simple fact that even if they recast him as a different character, how interesting is that going to be when all you still see it? Exactly, bro.
No matter what they offer him, they're not going to take it. He's going to say, "You've had your chance. That was the last opportunity, and I'm doing something else. I'm going to be James Bond."
Exactly, because honestly, I wouldn't be the one to do it.
Maybe James Bond.
James Bond.
Yeah,
absolutely.
James Bond. Like, let him be James Bond. Let him kill it as James Bond.
Yeah,
agreed.
I think if right, I'm not going to rant, so I'll just give you a little. One of these bad boys. I'm going to limber up. Okay.
Go ahead.
So I'm going to go. Okay. So
first of all, I want you to hold up. Yeah, loosen up. Everybody, loosen up. Get ready. Roll up your shoulders, because Rich is about to go in. Rich is going in. Let's go.
I'm going to mute my microphone.
Rich is going in. My bro is about to go in. Let's go.
Mucho motherfuckers. But right. Okay. So first of all, Henry Cavill was an absolute class act. How he dealt with that. You can see the difference between when he announced it, where he put a video, and today where he put a post, because of how much he cares. He dealt with it like an absolute gentleman. Nothing but respect for Henry Cavill. They have messed him about so much in the many different seat changes in DC. They could have had an amazing trilogy and a fantastic set of films over the last 10 years. They didn't, and that's what's happened, and it is what it is. I'm disappointed for Henry because he deserved more. I think the way that they have had an opportunity to sort this out by doing a nice soft reboot, big reboot, by doing one thing, putting Flashpoint at the end of the slate. So instead of putting it in between Shazam and Aquaman 2, they put it at the end, because like in the comics, they did Flashpoint, then introduced 52. So there were different people in those. It was like a younger Superman, a younger Batman, etc., etc. They could have done a huge Flashpoint, massive event where it could have been bigger than what this film is going to probably be. It could have been the end game for the current DCEU.
Yeah.
They have not played it like that.
No.
And that's disappointing because they could have given everybody the opportunity to say their goodbyes and be seen as like I said, Tony Stark and all those kind of things. They could have done such a big event, and that would have made him well over $1 billion if they'd had a massive event. They're not doing that. They're ending it with a wet fart, and that's. And that is a disappointment because they could have played this better. I think the reason why James Gunn has been so vocal, etc., because obviously tabloids, everybody have gone off on one with all the different announcements, inverted commas, all the rumors, all this and that. What they should have done was when that Hollywood Reporter article came out, they could have gone, right, okay, this is correct. Henry's gone, Gal's gone, Ben's gone. After this point, it's done. That's it. Aquaman 2, we've finished. Yeah. But from 2024, January, whatever, we're going to have this. And this is what it's going to be. They didn't do that. What they did was they did a series of tweets, and then they've had little bits of information just dropping. Yeah. It's not how you do it. You've got to make big announcements. If anybody has learned anything from Marvel, is how to control the information that goes out so people don't make assumptions. And that's how you've got to do it. You've got to be a unified front of this is DC film now. We're not Warner Brothers, newer regime, blah blah blah. We're not James Gunn. We are DC films as a whole, and that's how it should be seen now. And yes, they have probably made the right decision to do a reboot of everybody. I am disappointed for Henry because I love the guy to bits. He's such a class act, such an amazing actor, and he is my Superman. When I woke up this morning and I found out about it, I was really disappointed, but I wasn't angry. Do you know what I mean? I wasn't angry about this. I was just like, oh, they've done him wrong again.
They've done him dirty again.
They could have been better with it. So I hope I've been quite concise with what I was saying, but I think it's how they've got to do from this point onwards. They can't be reactive. If something does not make $1 billion in the first outing, they can't just cancel it. They can't just go, oh my God, this has not made loads of money. We need to go and do something else. We need to reboot all the time. They kept doing that the whole time. Last time. The last 10 years, and they can't do that anymore. They have to stick to the guns, pun intended, and go, this is our plan. We are not deviating from that. If we do, we are fucked. And that's the truth. That's what will happen because they need to stick to a plan.
It's like they got scared. It's like they got scared and they saw, the results of certain films and they're like, oh,
Thanks, AJ.
It's really unfortunate. It really is. But
and here's the thing. This is what I'm afraid of. And this is where Marvel comes in the mix. What do we have coming out in a few months? Right?
Which one for Marvel?
Yeah.
The Marvels, and we've got Ant-Man.
We got Ant-Man, Quantumania,
yeah.
And we have Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah,
that was directed June, right? By James Gunn. Now, my point is, if that film drops, and we already know what happens when a people hates a director, a producer, or whatever, they will review bomb this film on Rotten Tomatoes and give it one of the poorest ratings just because they can't stand James Gunn. They will petition.
It's not the way to be, though, is it?
It's not. But we know how fandom works, bro. And that's the terrible part, is that fandom works that way. They're not going to give him the chance, even though we always say that, like, give him a chance. We trust James Gunn. He's put in the work. He's done certain things. Now, it's not to say that James Gunn hasn't had his own misses, because he has. He has. And the thing is, we can't go into this expecting a Marvel turnaround right away. And I think that's when him and Safran understood And that's why they're going about it this way. Look, I understand that you want to give Superman a fresh reboot. You want to go back to earlier years of him in Metropolis. But boy, whoever's going to play Superman has got big shoes to fill. Like
I heard a rumor of who is going to play him, and I put it on my page a few months back. Alan Richardson.
Who's
you know the guy who plays he plays Jack Reacher in the TV show. He's in the new Fast and the Furious film. I think he's as a bad guy in that. Huge brick shit house, 6'4".
Yeah, he played
pounds.
He played Hawk and Dove on and
he played Aquaman back in the day in the Smallville TV show randomly. If you have a look at him now, he's a fantastic guy. He comes across really well. He was on Michael Rosenbaum's podcast, where he was very open and honest about his struggles with mental illness and stuff like this, and how things changed. And he's a fantastic presence. And I think he's got the look for it. He's got the look for Superman. So he could be a good shout. Could be a good shout.
Yeah.
I did hear that.
We got a $9 super chat by Jonathan King. He says, and thank you very much for that, bro. Always my guy. I feel this decision will kill momentum for Flash, Shazam, Aquaman. Do they matter anymore? And that's the thing. But here's the thing. Question. What they're doing with this and how they're approaching it. And again, actually, for Flash, he doesn't have to say a word. After the film is done, all right, Ezra, see you later. Yeah. Because he's already basically put out the simple fact that he's doing a reboot. Aquaman, Momoa, he doesn't care because he's about to play Lobo. We know that.
Yeah.
He really doesn't care. That's where he's going. You know what I mean? And that's why he put out that announcement like, yo, I'm excited. I can't wait for y'all to find out. He didn't like the direction. He's already said in so many different ways that he didn't like the direction that Aquaman was going. But he couldn't say too much. Change of the guard, now he can speak his mind. I mean, is it important? Shazam, we already know that this is the last film. This is the very last film.
Definitely.
You know, whatever. Black Adam, we're not going to get another Black Adam.
No, we're not.
We're not.
You know what? He's
not.
I think he's been annoyed by how it was dealt with as well. I think the only thing that matters, and Max has said it as well in the chat, is the Flash matters because of Keaton being back. Even if it's just for that film, which he will be. I 100% agree, Max. Good work. Agreed. I think apparently it's amazing. So, but it's just a shame that they've done what they've done. But I think it's going to the thing is, and this is what I always go back to, and I also say this to my brother about stuff, is like, we all know all this stuff, what's happening, it's been in the news and stuff, what's happened today and stuff. But the regular people who don't watch streams or read so much in the kind of in the zeitgeist, is the regular person on the street. They're gonna. So who's Superman now? Oh, sorry, who's Batman? Have we had loads of Batman? They don't care if it's a different universe. True. They don't care. It's true though. Yeah, it's true. It's true. Like, so it's kind of, that's how they have to kind of spell it out a bit for people as well, a bit more, and they have to treat that as, this is going to be a brand new thing, and if it is a complete reboot, it has to be everybody.
It does. It definitely does. Now, in other news.
Okay.
In other news, okay, I want to kind of bring this up here too, because again, even though this is sad news, and again, Cavill is going to always be my Superman, and no, I'm not selling any of the figures that I have. I'm keeping them. I'm happy I
would. Jesus.
I'm not. I'm keeping them. So definitely, Cavill, I know he's going to bounce back and even bigger than ever. I already know. I already know that, but definitely it's a bum deal. But with that also being said, there was some other news that we actually received here. Let me pull this up in a second. I pulled up the wrong thing, but I'm going to pull that up in just a minute. Here it goes. And let me come back out here again and do this. So we've gotten the news that Ben Affleck himself has met with James Gunn and Safran, and he is poised to direct a film, and that they want him to direct a film. Now, Word is
which one?
Which one? Now we don't know yet because they haven't made that announcement, but I think that they already know what film they want him to direct. Now there's rumors are a lot of people are even speculating since that there's already a script out there for his Batman. They could actually retool it and just get someone else to play Batman and he directs. Which Ben, I think, his sole purpose is to direct, and that's a redemption story for him to direct like he wanted to, because he has a vision for Batman. It's his favorite character. I think that's awesome. I think that's dope. You know what I mean? I cannot wait, to see what he does. But in my opinion, I'm hoping it is his interpretation of Batman. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
I know that Superman right off the jump is going to be the first film that they're going to release under the new regime. But where they're going to go next, I don't know. I hope it's Batman. I hope they give us a Wonder Woman film. I hope they actually give us the Justice League and focus on that. But Rich, what do you think about this, man? What about this news?
I think if they're going to do Superman, they need to do Superman Birthright or something like that. I think it would be a good one to do. It's a great story if anyone hasn't read it out there. It's a really good one. Someone vacuum cleaning in the background. You can hear that.
It's my neighbor. It's my neighbor freaking doing his hedges.
Yeah.
At like bloody Jesus Christ. 10 to 9 in the morning.
But anyway, so I think it would be, I mean, Ben Affleck's an Oscar-winning director. He's an amazing director. He can direct so much and has done so much, and obviously been awarded for it. Damn right, they're going to get him to direct something because he's a class act as well. I think it'd be amazing if they did the Batman story that they were going to do, which is, for anyone who doesn't know out there, was a script that they were working on where basically Batman had everything taken from him from Deathstroke. And basically, Deathstroke blames Batman for the death of his daughter or his wife. And basically, he systematically takes apart Bruce Wayne's life and Batman's life. And it's, by all accounts, I haven't read the whole thing, so I would never want to be fully spoiled on it. But apparently, it is unbelievable.
It's devastating.
Like a good story.
It's literally
an amazing idea. That's
story.
Yeah, an amazing idea.
So, like literally finances everything.
Yeah. So Joe Manganiello was going to be him again, and Deathstroke, and they were literally just going to fight each other one-on-one, and it sounded unbelievable. If they did that, it would be perfect.
Fire.
It would. But I mean, if they just get the right talent behind DC films, whether it's directors or writers or the cast, which obviously they need to think about, they get a strong A-level directors. I mean, Marvel doesn't have but if like Marvel doesn't have a Ben Affleck director, an Oscar-winning director like that at the moment on their dock, ready to go with something. At the moment, they don't. But it didn't work out well with Michelle Yeoh, the lady who did Eternals. She was Oscar winning as well. But my point is that it would be amazing if they did that story. If they do anything that he directs, he's a fantastic director. So it's a good move. It's a very good move.
Yeah, definitely. Les, what do you think about this?
Look, I'm really keen. I'm really open-minded about the whole thing. I'm very curious about what film he will be directing. And look, Ben Affleck's done some awesome work in the directing and the producing departments. I think that if they have, like Rich said, a great cast and great writers for Ben to bounce off of, I think it would be a partridge in a pear tree, basically. I'm glad that he hasn't gone off the rails and said, oh, DC this, DC that. I'm glad that he's kept it quiet himself and that he hasn't been too vocal about what's been going on. There's nothing wrong with a little bit of mystery. So this is very mysterious. Ben Affleck's always been a bit of a dark horse sometimes. So yeah, I'm definitely open-minded, and I don't have any gripes with this decision, because at least Ben Affleck can kind of stay in it with his own experience of playing Batman and a DC character, and bring that to the fold, which would be phenomenal.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm on board with it, man, because like I said, I think he deserves, because anybody who basically knows the story, you know, literally he was beat down by the decision. Like literally, I mean, it drove him to drink. Like he was really, 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 really beat down by the decision not to move forward with him directing. And when they just basically stripped him of that, it was just, you know, it's unfortunate that
he walked away from the whole thing. I mean, it just drove him to drink. He lost obviously his marriage, did everything. It's just the worst.
Oh,
so it was like it was just the worst. So it was like, you know, now he's in a good place. Now he has the possibility, you know, it's a possibility that he can, you know, get the redemption that he wants. And it'll be good, man. And I think it'll be good. I mean, all in all, like I said, I mean, again, I know, we talk about Gal Gadot and, you know, with even about Future, you know, he says, I'm not the biggest or huge DC fan, but I hope they did not say goodbye to Gal Gadot too. I love her as Wonder Woman and she will be forever my Wonder Woman. And I'm with you, bro. Nice. I'm with you, bro. Like she played the character. She embodies everything that we need to know about this character. You know, everything that is Wonder Woman is Gal. Like that's, you know, basically she plays it to a T. And I love the simple fact that she comes in and does it. Like she's done it so well. I love her take on it. And the thing is, there hasn't been any statements out right now. There's no statements from her.
Yeah, they'll be staggering all the news.
Yeah, they're staggering. They're going to do it. There hasn't been anything out there yet. So who knows where they're going to go with it. But we know that they're looking towards going for a younger version of this particular character. But I mean, that's her, man. Like that's Gal Gadot, and she's like literally she plays it, and she did in my opinion, she did a good job. You know what I mean? And she's the face of this character, and that's the only thing that I would, you know, just keep it short. Like that's the only thing that I'm worried about is the simple fact that how can you move on with fresh characters to fill shoes that, you know, literally people have, like kids have grown to see these characters the way they have. You know, to a child or somebody who's basically grown up on the first Man of Steel, that's their Superman. For a child that's basically grown up on the first Wonder Woman, that's their Wonder Woman. You know what I mean? Look, I get the reboot. We understand that. We understand by now that everything has to be rebooted. You know what I mean? In order to right the ship, you know what I mean? We have to basically do it because it's tainted. We can't go back with the old regime. We have to move on and do something that's a bit more cohesive. I just wish it would have been something that could have been done. And somebody even mentioned before, great idea, Kingdom Come. But it's the build up to Kingdom Come. And the reason why Kingdom Come happens in any way, they have to get to that point. You know what I mean? So I think
that's a good 10 years off.
That's a good 10 years off from basically where we're at right now. So again, they have to kind of flesh things out, and I get it. But again, the decision making and where they're going with it right now, I'm just like,
I mean, by the way, bloody James Gunn, talk about redemptive story for a man who got fired from Disney.
Keep on talking
because he had an atrocious tirade of random old tweets to get fired from Disney, and for Guardians of the Galaxy 3 to be delayed so much because that was going to be with Thor. Obviously, that ended up getting delayed.
Yes. Yeah.
To get taken on by DC, only to eventually to come back and direct Guardians 3 again, and then to be the head of DC. I mean,
what a comeback!
What a comeback! I mean, if those things hadn't have happened, he wouldn't be the head of DC now, and that's insane to me because they turned his back. They turned their back on him.
They did. And I thought it was.
Yeah.
I thought it was disgusting. You know, people have tweeted so much worse. And they've got away
with it. It wasn't in very good taste what he said, but
no,
I mean,
it wasn't.
It was
but
obviously
people have got away with way worse.
Yeah, people got away with it.
You know, so I understand the backlash there, but I think the reaction was wow.
Yeah,
it was.
Yeah,
it sucked. But he's redeemed himself tenfold, and
you know what though, it's due to excellent work. And it's excellent creative. The ability to write and direct the way he does is fantastic. As much as obviously this decision has miffed me with the Henry Cavill thing, he's a fantastic writer and director. And what he did with Suicide Squad and Peacemaker,
oh my god,
unbelievable. And I think that's great. I think it's absolutely great. And I think hopefully there's someone now who can actually steer this ship in the right direction and have a bit of consistency and
absolutely.
bit of gumph behind as well to tell Warners or whomever if they go, oh, you can't do this. No, we can and we will, and this is what we're going to do. And I think that's what they need. But
I definitely think so. They need someone who's more assertive and more confident in their approach to these ideas, and to just stick with it and say, I believe in this shit. Let's do it. You know, because sometimes films that are new in a franchise, they don't really gross much because it's new. People are still exploring their taste palettes for it. You know, like everyone was unsure about Iron Man 1 when it first came out. And wow, it surprised everyone, even me.
Just reminding, because obviously we're going to be wrapping up soon. When are you seeing Avatar 2?
I'm seeing it on Saturday. So I was going to go to the advanced screening, not last night, night before. But because Mike loves Avatar and he loves James Cameron, he's like, I really want you to see it with me in 3D. So I said, okay, we'll see it tomorrow.
Good for him. Well, by all accounts, it is stunning.
You saw it already?
I have not seen it yet. I want to see it, but someone who I trust the opinion of said it's absolutely stunning. And it's a bit of a triumph.
There's been good reviews. There's been good reviews. I haven't heard anyone say a bad thing. I've heard the 3D is gorgeous. And I've heard it's just so much visual splendor. I've heard spectacular things. So
it's by all accounts, it's a big event. So it'd be interesting. It'd be interesting. So I think it's gonna kill it at the box office and stuff. And like I hope so. When the first one came out, it was only like 70 odd million or something. Like it was like something little the first opening weekend, and then it's obviously just killed it massively after that. So hopefully it'll do the same on that one. But I'm happy for James Cameron. He's a man who's a bloody genius. So 13 years since the last one, and since he's done anything, I think that's fantastic.
It's amazing. And he's come back strong. He's gone hard. He hasn't gone home. He's here to, you know, break necks and cash checks. And, you know, he's very confident in the fact that if people go to the bathroom in the middle, it's fine because they'll go see it again.
Come back again,
You know, and it won't matter if they miss something. So
I'm going tomorrow because
let me know.
Claire wants to see it. And because we're not going to be able to do it Saturday because we have to finish some finishing touches on Christmas this Saturday, and then we have to go. We have a concert Saturday night to go to. So we're going to probably go see it tomorrow because I promised her. And she's a huge Avatar fan. Like I love the film. I'm not as big of a fan as she is. But I know she's going to have a ball with it. So I said, I'll definitely take her, man. So it's going to be fun, man. I mean, again, I'm just like, you know what I've been doing, man? Like I've been preparing, like, you know, for after the holiday because I've taken a full week off from just clients and stuff like that. So what I'm going to do is, you know, after the New Year's and all that, I'm going to get through because I got like boxes over here that I got to go through still. I got comics to read. I'm just going to relax and take my time and just do everything the way I need to do it.
You're going to chill it with the old streams as well for a couple of weeks or a week or so?
No.
Yeah.
You need to do.
I can't. You know what? No, because here's the thing. I'll have even more time to flesh things out because of the simple fact that I don't have clients. So I can get up as early as I want, do what I basically need to do. And I'll have an even longer weekend to really do everything that I need to do. I do this because, like I said, it is therapeutic. I like talking to people. I like, you know, just basically spreading the joy of collecting and talking about stuff that we talk about on Rise and Shine stuff. So I'm excited, man. I'm definitely excited about the new year and what things are going to come. As a matter of fact, I was just thinking we should do a year-end review show.
Oh, yes.
I'm down.
What y'all think? You think we should do that?
Down.
Yes. It's a yes from
100%.
A year-end review. So we'll do a year-end review show. Do we do it like the following? Because I know Christmas is next. Do we do it the following Thursday before the New Year?
Yeah.
Or
what do you think? What date is that? What date is that for me? Just worked.
Let's do some live on air.
Yeah, we're doing this live on air. We're gonna do a review of you know, I mean, this is what we do.
Let's do it. It's my 30th and your 29th, I believe, guys. So let's pound it. Let's pound it out.
A year in review. We'll do a year review show, and we'll just recap, you know, everything that happened in 2022 from releases to movie films, stuff like that. Yeah, we'll just do it. Spot it. We'll just do it and have a good time doing that. I think that'd be so super dope. So just set your calendars. we'll actually do that 29th. It'll be our year in review show. So stay tuned for that. And then after the new year, we'll definitely tackle that mental health. Cause like I said, it's something that we need to do. It's important. And I think, Les, you need to do that. Like it's something that is really, really important. And I think everybody's going to be able to relate. Definitely.
Oh, it's definitely happening.
Yeah.
It's definitely happening. It's, it's one of these things that has been really close to my heart. In Australia, we have an organization called Beyond Blue, which is like a mental health lifeline, which I'm an ambassador for and have been for a long, long time. It's something that is very near and dear to me, and mental health is just so important. Like too many people take their lives way too soon over things that really, in the grand scheme of things, can be fixed, and they feel alone.
Just offer communication.
You're not alone, guys. Please don't ever feel that.
You're never alone.
There's always help out there.
Yeah.
So it's happening. It's happening.
Yeah, definitely. So that, again, anybody out there who's dealing with things and it's serious, if it's serious and you feel as though you don't have anybody to talk to, this is why we do shows like this. This is why we're here. I mean, it's a responsibility. I think it is not only for you to listen to us, but for us to listen to you as well. And the thing is, on our shows, on our channels, it's a no judgment zone. That's what it is. You know what 100%. I mean? So exactly. And that's something that needs. So that's what I'm saying. It's such a great idea to talk about these things because we need to.
Yeah. And Lael, look, it's also about pressure in the community. There's a lot of pressure to collect beyond your means, to be in the hobby beyond your means. And you can't do that. You can't sacrifice your life and your people and people in it for this. Poor taste being a Christmas figure. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. It's the only example I had readily available.
Yeah.
But it's not worth it, like it's just figures. Your life is what you carry for decades.
Yeah, definitely.
And we need to take care of each other. We need to support each other. We need to be a pillar for each other. It's so important, and that's something that I'm very passionate about.
Definitely can't wait. And that's what when we do it. And when you're ready to do it, it's gonna go off because I think, and we can devote as much time as you want to it, and I think it needs to be discussed.
Thank you.
Definitely we can. So anyway, thank you guys for actually being here today. Rise and Chai, you know what it is. Evening time Thursday to kind of get you into your Friday. You're gonna hear more about this probably throughout the day. Much more to come from DC. They might even make more announcements. Again, sorry to see Cavill go, but it is what it is. Les, what you got coming up on your show next?
Oh, goodness. So in the new year, I will be doing a few shows called Artist Alley and Customs Corner. I'll be talking to a lot of lovely people, talking to me about their work, about what they're passionate about, what got them into this, and a few very special guests from here in Australia as well.
Yeah.
So it's going to be really exciting. I've had to hold up on the Six Figure News for a little bit because I'm just trying to figure out a restructure. Yeah. So that's why I haven't put up Six Scale Figure News in a while. But once the structure's down pat, then I'll be putting another video up on Batman Statue Collector's channel, as well as my own third parties. So and some more custom work. Hopefully this time of year doesn't give me much time, but I'm doing my damnedest, guys. I'm doing my damnedest.
Definitely. So if you haven't already, Marvelettes on Instagram and YouTube, make sure you actually follow great content over there. So you'll find her over there on her channel, and as well as here, Rise and Chai every Thursday, as always. So thank you very much for being here. Rich, what you got coming up, brother?
Brother, thank you so much for having me as always. Les, lovely streaming with you as always as well. I've had a lovely time. Thank you very much for being very much in my wheelhouse. In terms of the channel, I am a third of the way to 1,000 subscribers. So everybody who's watching tonight, please subscribe. Get your ass on that channel. Subscribed because we need them bloody subscribers. It's ridiculous.
Let's get that subscriber count up. Come on.
So what I've done is I paused Film Club because I thought I love doing film club, and I didn't want to have too many people on a panel. So what I'm deciding to do is either do it myself in the new year or to have it on one-on-one. So me and one of you guys, or me and someone else talking about the film, rather than being too many people that were just basically making the same
rotate.
Yeah. So I thought it's a good way of doing it. And I think I'm going to do more focus on the film news and things like the stuff that we've been talking about today. My reactions to it, rather than it being a knee-jerk reaction, is more thoughtful and concise.
That's why,
which I think is the way forward with anything like this, because there's enough people shouting at the moon. So I think it's wise to do that. So what I have got something through, I got it through yesterday actually, which is a custom piece by a friend of mine, and he made me a 1/6 Nightmare Batman bunker, which I'll be doing a review and showcase of.
I want that. I want that so bad.
It's the one I tagged you on, man. Yeah, it's the one I got. So I had the first version of it. Ryan in the chat, he knows about it as well. I don't know if he got one, but it's amazing. He did a fantastic job. So I'll be doing a review on that. So if everyone can subscribe to my channel, it's Reviews with Rich on YouTube and on Facebook, Instagram, everything. And so it's a 1/6 bunker. So basically, when he's coming out in the nightmare world, he's literally it looks fantastic. So if people can subscribe, I will be doing a proper showcase. I'm going to spend a lot of time on it as well, rather than me just going, here it is, and this is what it does. I'm going to do the whole thing. So it's going to be a nice piece of work. I'm taking a bit of time out to go and do it as well. I think it's going to be a really nice piece. So thanks again for having me, man.
That's amazing.
I'm not going to be, thank you. So I'm not going to be on Collector's Lounge on Sunday. It's my daughter's birthday. So yes, that's it. Made by IC Customs. For a couple of people who already got that. So
definitely.
So it's amazing work. So thank you very much again. It's been a pleasure.
As always, man. Thank you for being here.
Always a pleasure being on your channel on Rise and Chai. It's great to chat with you guys.
Always, definitely. Again, what's going on with me next week? Or actually, so it won't be. I don't think we're going to do Figure Flex Friday tomorrow night, because, like I said, we're going to be at the movies, taking Toy out to go see this film. And we'll be back for Collector's Lounge on Sunday. On Monday, Comic Book Talk with Friends. I'm going to try my hardest to divert from this conversation, because I know it's going to be talked about all weekend
as well.
Yeah. Well, me and Brendan talked about it yesterday, and we just decided like it just doesn't, we don't want to beat the dead horse, because it's going to already be a conversation. Definitely. So that we'll be here for Say What on Wednesday, and then we'll be back here for Rise and Chai next week. That's going to be like our Christmas show, because it's going to be the Thursday before Christmas. So definitely we'll do our Christmas show then. So be excited about that. I cannot wait. It's definitely going to be exciting. So I can't wait for that. Everybody out there, thank you so much for tuning in every Thursday to make this show what it is. It's so exciting for us to sit back and just chill and talk about everything that's going on in collector community and pop culture, film, all that. It's always constructive. Thank you. Anyway, we will be back next week, same time. Can't wait to see you guys. Remember, it is the holiday season. Take care of yourself. Take care of your families. And remember, mental health is a real thing. Stay sane. Always reach out and talk to someone if you need to talk. We are always here to listen. So definitely can't wait to see you guys. Talk again next week. Peace and love, and stay safe. Have a nice holiday.